name is Reverend Kainoa Kealoha. I'm born and raised on the Big Island, the same island that Maunakea is on. I lived there for 26 years. It's had a great influence in my life. I definitely love where I'm from, and you know, Hawaii definitely has a special place in my heart, just because I went to Waimea school, and I was able to see Maunakea every single day from my school because it's right in front. Waimea school is at the base of the mountain, so every day I was really looking up at the mountain, literally. And you know, it's something that I cherish, and I think that's pretty special to me. Maunakea is on the island I grew up on, and it is the second tallest mountain in the world. It is it's the tallest mountain, period, when it comes to below sea level, but Mount Everest beats it out. Maunakea's significance to me is going to be, how should I say this? It's a pretty big significance because growing up, like, was the #1 thing to do in the wintertime. We would always go up there and play in the snow. We would try and like snowboard up there in the snow, which is like skiing, and then go to the beach after the same day. So that was one of the coolest things. You always can tell the weather, if it's going to be a good or bad day. You can see the mountain clearly. If you can't see the mountain clearly, that's how we would tell if it would rain that day or not. But as far as, how should I say it, as like the agriculture and the culture behind it, like, I'm not for it. If I were to stop it, I would try and get as much people as I could, which is what they do now. They do pickets on the island I'm from. They've also done pickets in other islands, not just on the island that Maunakea is on. They've done pickets in San Francisco. They've done pickets in Las Vegas. They've done pickets in Seattle as well too. So it's more of just signing petitions and giving people reasons why they don't want to build this telescope. The size of the telescope, they're trying to build a 100-meter telescope that's 13 stories high. In order to do that, they need tons of construction vehicles that come up there. So it's not the actual building of the telescope or how much land mass it takes up, because it's a pretty small portion. It's more of what it does to the mountain when they have to move the machinery up there to build this telescope. So all the stuff that they're going to be running over, there's a lot of plants and animals that live on Maunakea that don't exist anywhere else in the world. And there's also a lake up there. It's not a lake, but it's like more of a pond, but it's pretty big, and that has a lot of Hawaiian significance to it. One experience I've had up there is when we used to snowball fight and so forth. What happened was my brother used to, actually for senior prank day, my brother went up to the mountain, got a bunch of snow, put it in the back of his truck, drove all the way back down to the high school, 70 miles down the mountain, all the way back to the high school, unloaded the truck in the middle of the high school, and the school had a snowball fight in the morning before classes started. So that was pretty cool. He had to have left at like 4 o'clock in the morning to get up there, and then to get back down by 8:30 before school starts. And that was something that was kind of crazy for us, but it was still the best senior prank day events that ever happened at that high school. When I visit Maunakea, the best thing about it is how peaceful it is up there. You can kind of feel the culture in the air when you're up there. It's very different when you're up there, and your whole entire life you're down probably by the beaches where it's hot, 75 degrees year round. There's no seasonal changes, so there's no winters, falls, springs, or summers there. It's pretty much just summer year round there. The sun goes up and comes back down every single day at the same time. So at the end of the day, when you go up there for the first time, it's it's a different atmosphere. You're kind of up there, and you can start to feel the air pressure kind of change a little bit. You're so high that the air is so thin, it's harder to breathe. So you have to get acclimated for at least 30 to 40 minutes prior to going up there. But it's different when you're up there because, you know, first off, it's all white. It's not like green and lush like the rest of the island, but it's all white because it's covered and blanketed in snow. So it's a pretty cool vibe when you're up there, but you can definitely feel the history and the serenity that's on the mountain when you're up there. We mostly visit just for recreation. When visiting Maunakea, it was mostly just a snowball fight and kind of go up there and be in a different atmosphere. A lot of people would go up there to pray a lot. A lot of people would go up there to dance hula before hula competitions to give thanks. And then also a lot of people would be up there just for like agricultural reasons, like just to grow things in different climates and different altitudes. So it'd be a lot different. Like a lot of people would just go up there and camp for a couple of days just because they wanted to see something different and be in a different atmosphere. We would go up there probably like once or twice every year. A couple of times I went up there, about 10 times, just because we were having such a blast when we were going up there as friends. We would go up there and camp up there for 1 or 2 nights and then come back down, but we did it pretty frequently when the snow season was on. I think what makes it important is because it's one of the highest points on the earth that's that clear. So it definitely has some benefactors to it some benefits when it comes to how high up the mountain is, how flat the leveling of the top of the mountain is, so it's not like very rigid or anything. It's a pretty open land up there, and how close you are to the stars on a clear night. So I think they have a great visual there, so I think that's why they're trying to put one of the best telescopes up there possible. But I think what they're losing is they're losing a lot of the cultural aspect and a lot of what the Hawaiian people are standing up for, and that's losing their land towards technology and stuff that isn't sacred anymore. Thank you for giving me this time to talk to you guys about my opinions on Aole TMT. I really appreciate Payton and what she does for the Hawaiian culture. She dances hula, she practices her chants, she lives a lot more of a Hawaiian lifestyle than most of the Hawaiians back home, so props to her, and I hope she does great in this presentation and you don't give her an F.
Hey,